Good morning, KNDMS team and family. This is Jeremy Mullet, your Assistant Principal of Instruction, and this is your Friday Community Update. First, I mentioned it in the last community update, and it is still just as true today. Students, please bring your own writing utensil to class. You need a pen, you need a pencil in just about every single one of your classes. So bring one. If you don't have one, in your first class, get one, and then keep it for the rest of the day. Don't go trying to get new pencils every class, new pens every single class. Just hold on to one of those pencils or pens for the rest of the day. You have a backpack or you have some pockets, take a pen, keep it with you. Next, let's talk about something else to keep with you, specifically your independent reading book with this week's Independent Reading Update.
Hello, Kipsters and families. This is your weekly independent reading update. Again, my name is Miss Hudson, and Humanities Instructional Coach here at KNDMS. Kiddos, as another reminder, you are reading your book, the same book, in advisory for 20 minutes. If you need any book recommendations, it is Black History Month, and so a few choices that I have top of mind are Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, and The Crossover by Kwame Alexander. They're really, really amazing, quick, beautiful reads if you are on the next step to choosing a new book. The reason why we read, right, is because we're trying to build our comprehension, we're trying to build our knowledge. It helps us build stamina, and it allows us to get incentives. For example, this upcoming March, if you are on track to meeting your words read goal, you will get cupcakes. There's also an end of year field trip, for if you make it to 1,000,000 words. So if you want to be on that field trip, you'll get to go to the bookstore, you'll get to choose a book of your choice, and you'll be able to read something that's super interesting to you. How can you get there? Make sure when you finish your book, you take that AR quiz. You must earn an 85% or more in order to receive credit towards your words read goal. Which brings me to my next point. You should be at 45% on track. If you are not, you can take an AR quiz to get there. We are looking to see 100% of students at KNDMS have quizzed. Right now we're at 48%, which is okay, but we really, really want to aim for that 100%. So again, once you finish your book, you take that AR quiz, you log into Clever, go to the Renaissance app, and you will find it there. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, any of your advisory teachers or ELA teachers. Have a great day.
Thank you, Ms. Hudson. Students, thank you for reading. 48% have already taken an AR quiz this quarter. That is some awesome numbers. Now let's get all the way up to 100. Remember, in your ELA classes, you're already reading a book. So just make sure you take the AR quiz at the end of reading that book that you're already reading for class. It's totally fine. Still counts towards those words read. Next, let's go into an academic update with Mr. Halfaker.
Good morning and happy Friday, KNDMS students and families. This is Mr. Halfaker coming at you live. I want to talk to you a little bit today about how we're choosing to celebrate Black History Month here throughout the month of February at KNDMS. I actually want to start with that idea. We don't just celebrate Black History Month in February. We know that America has designated a very specific month where we annually revisit the contributions of Black culture in America. But we also recognize that if you isolate learning about Black history into only 1 month, then you're really missing a major component of what is American history. Here at KNDMS, we recognize that Black history is American history. And so as we shine a spotlight on Black influencers throughout this month of February, we also recognize that this work of understanding different perspectives within America, specifically those most marginalized voices, is a way in which we learn about our country and we learn how we're going to move forward together as a united country. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about how we're choosing to recognize Black History Month and learn in each of our contents. For example, in humanities, students are going to be learning about writing as resistance. Last week, students got to learn about a group of female authors. Tomorrow, students are going to be learning more about LGBTQ plus authors and how Black authors in America have used writing as a tool of resistance over time. In math, students are going to be taking time to learn about the timeline of the civil rights movement. In science, they'll be learning more about the history of Black history here in Colorado. In social studies, students will be revisiting Dr. King's philosophy of nonviolence. In ELD and social justice, students will be learning about movements that are active in America these days, such as the Black Lives Matter movement. In electives even, such as PE and music and art, students are going to be learning about athletes, musicians, and artists and creating their own art that celebrates Black voices in America. Students are going to be experiencing this instruction weekly. So that means every teacher at least once a week is going to take 15 to 20 minutes out of their class to focus on a topic that matters to them and that aligns with their focus and their content for Black History Month. Students, this is for you. Our purpose here is so that you just don't learn about Black history from one specific voice or one specific teacher, but rather you get to learn a little bit more from all of your teachers who all bring a different vantage point and ask different questions to get you thinking and get you talking more. Families, how can you support from home? Same thing as always, just check in with your kiddos. Ask them about what they're learning about. All students will be participating and learning around Black history and Black culture in their classes. So ask them, what have you learned this week? What have you learned in different classes? And how do they connect? Families and students, I thank you for taking the time today to engage and hear a little bit about how we're learning. I look forward to seeing some of these lessons in your classes in the next few weeks. And families, keep asking kiddos so you know what's going on at school, and we're making connections between learning and home because that's where the real change happens. Thank you all for your time. I hope you have a happy Friday. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mr. Halfacre. A lot of cool stuff coming through this month. So families, keep asking your students, what did they learn about today? Next up, and sort of along the same lines of this Black History Month, let's go over to our Culture Corner.
February is dedicated as Black History Month, honoring the triumphs and struggles of African Americans throughout the U.S. history. Black History Month was created to focus attention on the contributions of African Americans to the United States. It honors all Black people from all periods of U.S. history, from the enslaved people first brought over from Africa in the early 17th centuries to African Americans living in the United States today. Well, good morning, Kipsters, and welcome to this week's edition of Culture Corner. This month in February, we are celebrating the contributions that African Americans have had on our country. And we have had many opportunities within our classrooms, in our content classrooms, and just around our school to celebrate Black history. One of our cool activities this week was dressing for our culture, an opportunity to wear some authentic garments that I have purchased from Ghana, really connecting us to our ancestry and the amazing Black fashions that we have seen throughout history and in modern times. So continue to be on the lookout for some of these amazing celebrations posted around campus on our Instagram page. There's just a multitude of ways to stay connected with our school and to continue this celebration as we celebrate the richness of Black and African American culture.
Yeah, Mr. Johnson, I want to thank you too. It is so cool to see pictures of students in their traditional dress coming to school, posting on Instagram, all over the place. And then also, just to highlight some of the cool things that we're seeing across campus for the month of February here, we have a really cool gallery wall in our main hallway on the second floor. Every morning, our friends Joy and Brenda share with us some morning announcements with some history, some lessons, and also some really cool quotes that we get to hear on it every single morning. And on the 24th, we're going to watch the Black Panther here at the school. And I just really want to share how cool it has been throughout the month so far, and I know it's going to be even more, but just students really coming to us, wanting to have deep and rich conversations around Black history, around race, and so the outcomes have been really positive and really enjoyable to have these conversations with our students.
Yep, so continue to be on the lookout. Follow us on Instagram if you have not already, and we'll see you in next week's edition of Culture Corner.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson and Mr. Valle. As you can see, we are doing a lot to celebrate Black and African American culture here at KIPP, and we're excited to continue it, not just through the rest of this month, but for the rest of this academic year and beyond, because it is that important. And now, let's switch it over to some more important things, specifically dates, in this week's segment of Get Out Your Calendar. First, next Monday, that means this Monday after this weekend, you're going into a 3-day weekend right now because on the 20th, we've got President's Day. So no school for students and no school for teachers as well. Fully off, everybody gets to celebrate. Then on the 24th, that is our Black History Month celebration movie night. We will be showing Black Panther here at school. So that's next week. Look out for some more information about the when and what kind of snacks and things will be available there. Then coming up in March, the 14th is Pi Day. That's 314. It's going to be an awesome time, especially for my math nerds. So get ready for some sweet, sweet pie action. Coming up on the 24th of March, that is our spring family conferences. We'll be sending out more information about how families can connect with their teachers, the teachers of their students. Then, that's also the end of our quarter, so grades will be done and finalized. Now, families, if you don't want to wait until conferences to find out how your students are doing, you don't have to. Use Talking Points. It's an excellent app. It will connect you to all of your teachers, and it's just a text message away. Next up, we have another few days off. That's spring break. Get this on your calendar, March 27th through March 30th. That's the last week in March. We are all off, followed up by the 31st, which is Cesar Chavez holiday. So we also don't have school then. Kind of think of it as an extended spring break, which is pretty awesome. Finally, April 3rd is another day off. That's going to be our staff PD day. So keep an eye out for that coming up on April 3rd. Now that's all we have for this week's Get Out Your Calendar.
You thought there was no athletic update, Mullet, but there is one, and I'm taking over. Hi, everybody. This is Mr. G with the KIPP Northeast Middle School Athletic Update. Coming to you live from halfway through boys basketball season. Just like that, we are cruising along. The boys dropped a home game. Both A and B team dropped their second home game of the season earlier this week. And they're back on road today at DSST Elevate. The A team playing at 4:30 and the B team playing at 5:30. Good luck, fellas. Lastly, just to put it on your calendar, the tryouts for the spring sports will be coming up in early March. So keep an eye out for those dates coming up. Early March is going to be tryouts for girls soccer and my personal favorite. I'm not supposed to have favorites, but oh, you bet I do. It is co-ed flag football. It is going to be awesome. Early March. Keep an eye out for that. And that's all I got. And you know what? While I'm already here, it is time to celebrate those top Ghana earners of the week. This is my job now. This is awesome.
Thank you all for joining us on this week's Community Update. I hope you all have a fantastic Friday and an amazing 3-day weekend. See you next time.